Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. It's Malita and today I'm going to show you guys my drugstore foundation routine. Okay, yeah, more or less drugstore. So most of the products I'm using in this video as usual are drugstore products, and it's actually quite a simple foundation routine, but I'm going to go a little bit in depth with baking your makeup and setting it. I'm going to show you how I contour, blush, so literally I'm going to show you guys how I'm doing my whole face makeup. And yeah, if you are interested in how I did my makeup today, like my face makeup, because my eye makeup I have done already before I started filming this video. So yeah, without further talking and anything, let's get to the tutorial. So first I'm going in with one of my favorite primers, Nude Glow primer from Catrice, and I'm just going to massage it in my skin and then afterwards just dab it around. I like this primer because it is actually not too tacky and you can use it by itself. It gives an awesome glow to your skin and it actually fills up your pores. And afterwards, because I have a few zits and breakouts on my face, I'm just going to use a little bit of color correcting. So I'm going to use the green color around my nose to cover up the redness and a few of my very bad red zits, which you cannot really see on the camera, but they are there really. And then I'm using this purplish shade under my eyes to cover up all the dark circles. And I think you all have noticed that my eye makeup and my eyebrows are already done, so I'm going to try to take care of it during this tutorial. So then I'm getting a dark brown shade to completely cover up my zits. And yeah, I don't know why I have so many breakouts. I think a few days ago I have went to sleep without washing off my makeup. I normally don't do that, I wash it off every day. And I'm just going to grab a damn beauty blender. I always wet my beauty blender and I actually just wet it with a little water and just blend the whole color correcting product out on my face to avoid the harsh lines and everything under my foundation. And I'm going to use my favorite foundation. I have already used it in previous tutorials. I could talk days about it. It's a Catrice foundation. I bought it for €4.50. Right now it costs, I think, €7. Doesn't cost that much. And I like to bring on my foundation with a silicone blender. That silicone blender I also got from Catrice, and it is, I think, the best for this foundation to bring it on and blend it out. But I always go over my whole foundation with a damp beauty blender to buff it in perfectly. And a few things about this foundation: a little really goes a long way. So to reach a full coverage you only need like 2 or 3 drops from it, and it goes all over your face. Like, I only dumped my blender in it 2 times and it covered more than half of my face, and I'm going in it once again and just cover the rest of my face. I really love this foundation because it really gives you an effect of not having anything on your face. So it is really light, but it covers everything. Oh my god, and I just love it. I'm sorry about the light, you guys. The sun was literally shining through my window, so yeah, I'm a little bit struggling with the light right there, but it's not that big of a deal. And now I'm almost done with blending down the foundation. I also like to blend it all over down my neck, so it will just match my body color, and you guys can see it literally covered up every little spot and darkness and zit on my face. And now I'm just going to use the rest of the product, go over it one more time, make sure everything is perfectly blended. I really like a good foundation, and go over with a damp beauty blender like I mentioned before, to make sure everything is perfectly buffed in and the product won't move as easily. Yeah, I don't like when my foundation cracks or moves during the day, and this one really goes all through the day. So sometimes I have 10-hour long days and my makeup is still perfect when I get home. And afterwards I'm just going to use picture ready concealer from Essence in the shade Ivory, and draw little triangles under my eyes and highlight the high point of my face, and also the little imperfections are perfect to hide with it. I also always contour and conceal my nose because my nose is a little bit cracked. If you have seen my previous videos, you know what I'm talking about. Like, my nose is just messed up, like really messed up. I also like to correct the smile lines and the side of my face, so my contour will be on fleek because I like a strong contour girl. And I'm just going to use the same beauty blender as I used before, damn beauty blender, and I'm just going to blend everything perfectly out so my face will be a little bit more bright and all the little imperfections will be covered up perfectly. Literally half of my day goes with blending stuff. But while I'm blending, I would like to talk through with concealers. With concealers, you always have to be sure that it's only 2 shades lighter than your skin, otherwise it will make your face way too bright and way too light and unnatural, which is sometimes alright, but mostly that's not the look what we are going for. So make sure it's not too dark and not the same color as your foundation, and not darker, but like 2 shades lighter than your foundation. Now to set everything, I'm just going over with a powder from Estee Lauder. I love this powder because it is also very light and it sets your makeup. Now I really like to go through with my face with a powder before I'm using any more product on my face, like contour or anything. Just blends out much easier when you have some powder on it. Also, you are not baking your face in the powder, so make sure that it is not cakey, and try to use a very light color or a translucent powder. And now we are moving on to baking. Oh my god, it just the whole thing fell, no problem. So I'm going to use from W7, I think that's the brand's name, Banana Dreams loose powder. I think for me this is the perfect one for baking. Before I used the powder from Essence, but recently I got my hands on this one and I just love it. This is really perfect for baking. So what you do is pour a little powder in the cup how I did before, and just use a very wet beauty blender. Don't be afraid, just wet that blender and dip it in there, and under your eyes and on all the parts where your makeup is most likely to be creasing, just dab it on. Like, you have to make sure that there is a lot of product on there so it covers up that part of your face completely. And why it's gonna help to lock in your makeup is because it locks in the makeup between the powder and your skin, and your body temperature will literally just heat up that makeup and it will cook into your skin. And that's why they call it baking or cooking, however you like it. Both of the terms meaning the exact same thing. I also like to dab it on my nose because I like to have a stronger nose contour. And around my smile lines is also a part where my makeup is creasing during the day. And after I'm done with bringing on the powder, I'm just going to go in with a cream contour and carve out my face, my forehead. And I use a cream contour from Essence, and it's a lighter shade, and I like it because it's actually very cool toned and it is very, very creamy. And yeah, we all know Essence cosmetics are very cheap, and it is perfect to contour your nose because, as I said, it has a lighter undertone and a little bit more grayish. When you contour, you don't want to have a warm tone, especially not on your nose. If you are contouring your face, you have to make sure that the color you are using has a little bit cooler, almost grayish undertone, because reddish colors just make your face look a little bit more muddy and dirty in the end of the process. So make sure that you are using a grayish undertone, and I'm just going to grab a damp beauty blender, blend out the whole thing. You can also use a brush. I prefer to blend out cream contours with a beauty blender, but I also always set my cream contour with a powder contour, and powder contour, of course, I'm bringing on with a contour brush. About the baking process, it's no problem if you by accident touch the powder. Just make sure that you don't brush it away completely. On my nose, I like to go through with my fingers. It's just much easier to blend it in precisely, and just make sure that your nose doesn't look too muddy, and don't go too overboard with the contouring. You can make your nose look a little bit more snatched using a little product. And now I'm going to set my cream contour with a powder contour. This is also from Essence, and I'm bringing it on with contouring brush, and I bring it over the contours, so my jaws, my temples, and my cheekbones, what I carved out previously, but I don't use it for nose contour because it is a little bit dark, and when you are contouring your nose, you have to make sure that you are using a lighter shade, otherwise it will look very, very muddy instead of snatched. And after I'm done blending, because half of my day goes with blending something out on my face, I am going to brush away that powder I have on my face and just blend the excess powder also away, so there won't be any spots and bright lines all over my face. And for that, I'm using a fluffy brush from Estee Lauder. You see how more snatched the contour line looks on my cheekbones, but I still find it a little bit too harsh, so I am going to go over it with bronzer after I'm done brushing everything away. And you guys can see, you don't see at all that there has been any powder on my face. And now just completely brushing away all excess and moving on to the bronzer. The bronzer is also from Essence. I'm going to link it down below. It's a must-have product. It has a beautiful brown shade, light enough. So for people who have fair skin like me, it's one of the best products to use for bronzing. It's not too dark, also not too light, and it smells like coconuts, so it is just great, and it comes in a huge packaging, so lots of products, and who doesn't love a good budget bronzer? I do. And now, after I'm done bronzing my face with the bronzer itself, because it is light enough, I'm going over my nose contour just to set it and blend it out with my fingers, of course. Now I almost started to use my blush, but I forgot that I prefer to use highlighter before blush. Somehow it just gets your highlighter also to be a little bit more blunt into your face and avoid those harsh lines. So the highlighter I'm using is from Essence Prismatic Rainbow Highlighter. I used it in previous tutorials. I actually did a review on it where I didn't like it, and the problem was actually with my brush itself, because this brush what I'm using for it, it's a synthetic makeup brush from Essence, and it is just perfect for highlighters, and I'm like a very strong blinding highlighter. It is perfect for it. I think you can perfectly see on the camera that that highlighter is blinding. And of course, as I said, I like a strong highlighter, so I'm going over with a few more layers. And I like to also highlight my nose and my eyes, and for that I'm using a small defining brush just to highlight the tip of my nose, the bridge of my nose. And for nose highlighter I also like a strong one, but on the bridge not too much, but on the tip of my nose I really like a strong blinding highlighter. Now I'm moving right on to the part of my eyes. What I like to highlight is under my brow bone and the inner corner of my eyes, which I blend together with the rest of my eye makeup. Oh my god, this highlighter is just amazing. It's beautiful. Seriously, I love it. I just need a little bit more on my nose. Right there. Alright, we're perfect. And right now we are going to move on to the blush. The blush is from Estee Lauder, I think. It has a reddish undertone, which I found very, very cute with my eye makeup. And don't worry if your blush first seems a little too faded, because you can always build it up. The important thing is with blush, you always have to go in with a light hand and afterwards build it up, because when you use too much it's very, very difficult to take good care of it. I also like to go through my forehead and my chin with brush just to make it a little bit more natural and to set the whole thing, and just to blend my foundation, my highlighter and my blush in. I use the same powder what I used before from Estee Lauder with a big fluffy brush, and just blend everything together and make sure that my whole face makeup is beautifully set. Also on my nose, I like to blend everything out with my fingers. So when it comes to my highlighter, I also like to dab more through with my fingers. And now that I'm done, now just use a setting spray from Essence and just go over my whole face. And I think we are done. So that's it for today's video, you guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't done it yet, please hit that subscribe button and that little notification button right next to it, so you won't be missing out on any of my future videos. Now, in this week's Wednesday's Broke Beach series, I am going to do the 20 euro makeup challenge. That means I'm going to do a full face makeup with using and spending only 20 euros on makeup. Hopefully it will work out nicely, so stay tuned for it. And yeah, actually all my socials are also linked down below in the description box, so you can find me on Instagram, Snapchat. I also have a Facebook page, so you can, keep update on my everyday life, which is not that interesting, but don't be a stranger. Say hi to me in the comment box down below, or just in my DMs on Instagram or whatever. And yeah, see you guys on Wednesday. And as always, I love you all.